Welcome, everyone. My name is Jonathan Tripodi, and I'm an astrologer. I've studied astrology for 30 years. My father, George Tripodi, is an astrologer, and he taught me. And I'm here to talk to you today about Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of major transformation and power. And this planet is getting ready to make a shift from the sign of Capricorn into the sign of Aquarius. And anytime Pluto makes a shift from one sign to another, it's the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. So there's a very significant new chapter that all of us are about to enter into. Let's talk dates. Specifically, Pluto moved into Aquarius for the first time in March of 2023. It dipped its toes in, was in for a few months, then went retrograde, means it moved backwards, and it stepped back into Capricorn, where it is today, and is going to remain there until January of 2024. This is the last journey of Pluto through Capricorn. Once it enters Aquarius in January, it'll be there for the duration, about 13 years. What do we expect with this? Like, what's the experience that Pluto brings to this planet and to humanity? Well, traditionally, Pluto is the planet of major transformation. So, guess we're in for some transformation. But what does that mean? That's a vague kind of term. Well, what's going on right now is the Pluto purge. We're having to purge ourselves of the past so that we can enter into this new chapter. So right now we may be confronting, I know I am, some elements of our past and also some attachments to the present. And this represents our resistance to change. What we hold on to out of fear and security. And so when you're afraid of loss, and when your security is invested in things outside of you, and those things begin to change, it's scary. It triggers you. It makes you want to hold on. It makes you want to fight the change. So that's our instinctive response to the Pluto purge. Because there's a new chapter ahead for all of us. Many of us may not know what it looks like, but it is going to be different. And so the encouragement here is to embrace the change. Let yourself be purged of your attachments and the things you hold on to, with the understanding that there is something on the horizon, a new chapter in your life, and maybe also just to trust in that process. Maybe to trust that it's okay for things to end. It's okay for things to change. And even though we don't know what the new thing is that's coming on the horizon, maybe we could trust that it'll be, a good thing. So we're having to confront our attitude towards change and transformation. Hopefully become less afraid of it so that we don't experience the suffering that results from resisting change. The challenge with resisting change, especially with this monumental change of Pluto in Aquarius, is that it's formidable. And as we may have been able to resist change in the past and got away with it. But this particular change is probably going to win out. And it's either you go with the flow or you kind of go down kicking and screaming. The more we dig our heels in, the harder it's going to get. And so where can we expect these kind of changes to take place? Well, first of all, in our relationships. Some relationships have reached their expiration point, and it's time for those relationships to come to a close so that you can be free to experience a new version of yourself and to potentially enter into a new relationship that is in more alignment with who you are today. A lot of these old relationships had to do with who you were. And because of this significant transformational change, people are changing. You're changing, your partner's changing. And you're not the same people anymore. And if you're not in alignment with each other, if you find yourself arguing constantly, disagreeing constantly, fighting constantly, maybe it's just more loving and more wise to let it go. Let yourself end the relationship as it is and let it transform into something that maybe is healthier and more positive, more life affirming. We don't want to stay in situations that are draining your energy or taking energy from you or, being destructive to your state of mind or your health. That brings me to the second area that you can take a peek at in yourself, and that is your health, because the purge of Pluto is purging experiences from our past that we suppressed. So with that, our body is going to react to that because we actually store memory in our body, in the tissues, in the organs, in the cells. And so there's a detoxification that occurs as Pluto energy begins to amp up. And Capricorn is the ruler of connective tissue. So connective tissue is the number one tissue in our body. There's more connective tissue than anything else. It surrounds and interconnects everything in our body. The fascia, the connective tissue, So there could be skeletal or joint related or muscle related conditions that are symptomatic of a purge. And so it's really important at this time to take care of your health, to bring closure to some of these health challenges. Get tested, go to the doctor if needed, get validation as to what's going on, and treat it appropriately. That includes alternative healing methods as well as traditional medical techniques. It's really important to revisit some of the health practices that you may have been indulged in for years, such as supplementation, diet, exercise, because your body's going to need that support. It's going to need good, vital, healthy nutrition. And it also may need a tweaking. Whatever worked for you in the past may not work for you today. So definitely upgrade and update your healthcare practices and your self-care practices. If you've struggled with your health for many years, this could be a turning point for you where, you can make a breakthrough. because the energy of Pluto is behind you. It's supporting this transformation. Now, Pluto isn't the healer. You are. And when you may be in a place now where you've suffered for a long time and you're just ready. You're ready to let go. You're ready to open up. You're ready to feel better. You're open in your body and in your mind, in your heart to a new experience. And sometimes we have to go down the road of feeling terrible. We have to get all the way to the bottom before we can surrender our will and our fight and the things that we're in conflict with ourselves, including our bodies. So maybe we're in a time where we can shift our anger and frustration and bitterness around our body and our health. Even though it's been, can be very frustrating. Chronic health conditions can be very frustrating and expensive. But now's a good time to revisit an open mind and an open heart and reinvigorate your self-care practices, because the Pluto purge is going to help you to make a shift. Now, when Pluto enters Aquarius, we better back up. Another area that may undergo a shift is your work. Especially those people who are in occupations that relate to technology and that relate to innovative practices, pioneering practices, advanced practices or products. And then lastly, the category of humanitarian practices or occupations. And then the healing the healing arts. If you're in any of these categories, Pluto in Aquarius is going to take things to the next level. So you can anticipate a call to action when Pluto enters Aquarius. And you've probably already felt it, but it's not full throttle right now. But next year, late January, when Pluto gets into Aquarius, it's going to be in there the whole year and for several years after. If you have a skill set to help progress the situation on the planet, whether it's to dramatically help improve climate change, the environment, whether it helps with healing and health, whether it's new technology that improves the efficiency and effectiveness of the way we do things here on Earth, you're going to be called to act. You're going to be called out. This is the time when Pluto enters Aquarius where technology and progressive ideas and innovation is supported greatly. So if you're one of those pioneers in whatever field you're in, if you're one of those kind of innovators, be ready to go to the next level. Now that means you could step out of your job and try to go at it alone and do things your own way. It's a worthy risk if you feel called to do that. You will be supported. It could be that something just fizzles out in your work and you're no longer, secure in your job, and you find yourself either, jobless or in search of a job, and that could be scary. However, look at this as an opportunity, because this shift between Pluto in Capricorn and Pluto in Aquarius could be bringing an end to your vocation as you've known it, but the beginning of a new one. So again, trust the changes that are happening in your life, especially the endings. Endings are hard sometimes. Even if you know it's probably in your best interest, it's difficult to let go of something you're used to and that you've depended on. So, but this is where we have to really have a shift in consciousness, a shift in attitude, where we can open up to the changes that are happening and allow ourselves to be transformed. Now, the Pluto in Aquarius vibration is really high. Okay, it's another octave of vibration. And so you may find yourself vibrating, tingling, a bit disoriented. You may have a lot of fears coming to the surface. And that's normal. The fears are being purged. The vibration's raising. You just have to let go of those fears. That's it. You're going to feel them momentarily, some days worse than others. But you know what I do is I just lay down and take 10 or 15 minutes and just intentionally enter my body and feel what's happening and just witness it and breathe with it and intentionally just let it go. As if something wants to pass through you. Doesn't require you to be involved except to allow it. Okay? Don't contract. Don't resist. Don't fight it. Don't think too hard about it. Don't get all involved in there. Because, when you sit down and have a bowel movement in the morning, you don't contemplate that. You just let it pass out of you. You just assume that if it's coming out the end of you, that you don't need it anymore. It's toxic. So you can look at that analogy if you want. Look at that analogy vibrationally, energetically. Your whole body is becoming a discharge agent. There's a new vibration entering, and it's purging the old vibration. And the upgrade is going to take at least a couple years. But you're going to feel it more and more as Pluto moves out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. Yeah, it's crunch time. This is where humanity gets to see how we're going to respond to the epic conundrum that we're in on planet Earth. There's been a lot of question marks. Is humanity going to make it? Are we going to, get our shit together and start solving problems faster than we create new ones? Or are we going to bite the dust? With Pluto going into Aquarius, it's going to bring a lot of power, transformative power, to all of us to begin to become more progressive, innovative, inventive, creative in our lives. And to step up, even in consciousness, with new attitudes and new ways of approaching old problems. So this is our, I was going to say last hurrah, but let's not use the word last. This is our opportunity to rise to the occasion, and we're being given a nice stimulus from Pluto. Take care of yourself, eat well, be healthy, rest, trust in the process, let go as much as you can, lovingly let go. Okay, whatever's ending in your life, whatever's changing in your life, you don't have to do it kicking and screaming. You can do it peacefully. You can do it lovingly. willingly. And that'll give you the experience of grace. And then you'll gracefully move, into this new chapter of Pluto and Aquarius. Well, thanks for listening. If you want a personal reading to find out where exactly in your life Pluto is going to be active while in the sign of Aquarius for the next 12 years, if you want specific custom insight into what Pluto's, where it's going to be active in your life, I'm happy to do that for you. I offer life cycle readings where I not only look at Pluto, but all the major planets to see what life cycles a person is entering or ending and what they're about. You can access my website, jonathantripodi.com, and click astrology, and you'll see all the services that I offer, including relationship readings, infant readings, children readings for kids, and life cycle readings. All right, take care. Thanks for listening.